Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have a couple topics to discuss in this very latest Moon Lambo hot jam all up in this bitch. And I'm going to be starting with this FUD topic, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because based on a report from a quote-unquote research firm, there have been a number of crypto media articles covering this idea that XRP, as is predicted by this firm, in 2022 will be dropping out of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. So I'm going to say some things, and then we will place these articles promptly into the Moon Lambo woodchopper, never to speak of them again. I've also got this headline from the Daily Hodl. Will XRP's primary competitor outperform crypto markets in 2022? Coin Bureau updates outlook on stellar lumens, which is XLM. That's the cryptocurrency. So, Coin Bureau, literally the most popular YouTube crypto channel on all of the planet, with over 1.8 million subscribers at this point. And so I want to be clear at the outset here. There's a gentleman whose name is Guy, and he runs the Coin Bureau YouTube channel. Nothing against him on a personal level, but he said some things, his analysis, which I think is just a really bad take. And I'm not saying this to attack him. That's why I'm always careful up front, because I think it's fun to talk about this, just come from an intellectually honest position, share ideas, and if people disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not offended. As long as people are civil adults, I don't get mad. I don't need people to agree with me for me to like and respect them. But that's why I'm going to be clear at the outset. I'm going to be critiquing what Guy from the Coin Bureau YouTube channel has been saying, because he's just flat out wrong. Actually, my first time coming across him ever, it was a couple of years or so ago, before his channel really blew up, and he made a video about XRP, and it was just full of all sorts of inaccuracies. I was just blown away, and I was like, wow, because he was still getting some views even back then, and I'm just like, so I took to my channel, I was like, I'm going to correct the record. So I did that back then, and I'm going to do it again now. Nothing against him personally, but he should probably crunch some numbers, because his analysis, it's missing the mark. So anyway, before I go further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just a simple little Moon Lambo doing Moon Lambo stuff, making YouTube hot jams all up on the YouTubes about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So here's one of the headlines. This one's from ZyCrypto. New research predicts Ripple's XRP and Cardano will fall out of the top 10 in 2022. This is why we can't have nice things, folks. This is why we cannot have nice things. Let's go ahead and dig in, though. Well, this year has been full of drama in the cryptocurrency market. Should Arcane Research's prediction for 2022 play out, more drama may be in store for crypto. According to the bespoke crypto research and analytics firm, XRP and Cardano are likely to fall out of the top 10 crypto rankings in 2022. Look, and so here's Livecoin Watch. Here's the top 10 cryptos by market cap. XRP is currently number 8. So a couple things right off the bat here, and I've mentioned part of this before, but 2 of the cryptocurrencies above XRP in terms of market cap are stable coins, right? And that's so if you think historically, if you can do, like, if you look at historical snapshots, I don't know if Livecoin Watch does it, but CoinMarketCap does. You can look, they have certain dates where they just recorded the state of crypto markets, and you can see if you would, what CoinMarketCap would have looked like on dates going all the way back to I think to 2013 or so. So you can see the state of things, and not until within probably roughly the last year or so was a stable coin ever in there. And so here's the thing. You got to ask, if you're one of these companies running these index pages, what are people coming here for? Why do people even measure anything by market cap? Well, you got to measure coins by something to compare to one another, so that the open markets can figure out how much money to pour into each thing based on how valuable it is ultimately. Now, of course, in the short term, I recognize people are not sufficiently parsing out the differences between cryptocurrencies in terms of utility, but big picture, that will matter. And so, again, why do we measure things this way? Again, you gotta measure by something, and so market cap was picked, and I'm not complaining about it. It's fine. I don't have any sort of actual real beef with this. But if you're trying to jockey for position, then if you're throwing into the mix stable coins, I think you're doing a disservice. And look, these websites, by and large, they typically do have ways that you can filter out stablecoins. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it makes logical sense to have them counted in market cap by default. If you want to add them in or this or that, then fine, go ahead and throw it in. But to have it as default, I think you're doing a disservice. It just doesn't make logical sense. It defeats the purpose because the price of these is always the same. So who the hell gives a damn? All that it's showing is if they print more, it goes up higher in market cap. So if you let enough time pass and there are enough stable coins, the whole top 10 will be stable coins. Maybe they'll even supplant Bitcoin, because think about it. Like, these firms, if they print enough, they could just supplant Bitcoin today, because why not? Why not? Go ahead and do it, and then bam, Tether's #1 in market cap. Is that helping anyone, though? And so, look, I'm not denying that it is correct that it is their market cap. What I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to even throw them in and measure them with cryptocurrencies that have a couple moving parts. There's the circulating supply and then the open market price, and both of those, both of those can change. Certainly, the price changes with open market cryptos that don't have stable prices. So to me, that's always been silly to have these in here. I just chuck the whole thing out. And it's also worth knowing this as well. If you're one of these people who thinks, no, the market cap is what it is. Well, look, it's their websites, their own proprietary platforms. They can do whatever the hell they want and measure whatever they think is useful. For example, it's actually not true that Bitcoin has always been #1 in terms of market cap, but nobody seems to want to admit this. There was another cryptocurrency that was extremely illiquid. It starts with an F. I can't remember what it was called, but it had a higher market cap than Bitcoin because people were not sufficiently measuring it to the rest of what was happening in crypto in the short term, just in the short term. And it had some crazy supply and people weren't paying attention to it because there weren't that many players, and somebody paid enough that the market cap, because again, market cap, it's circulating supply times price. Somebody, like these people were bidding against each other, and somebody bid a price that made the price of whatever this stupid crypto was that I wish I could remember the name. It made it have a market cap higher than Bitcoin, and none of the index sites reported it. Not CoinMarketCap, not Live CoinWatch, and I don't care. Because it's a silly outlier that doesn't help anybody. So I don't care if they have these parameters. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense to have them in there. And this matters because here's the deal. There's going to be this narrative. If XRP gets thrown out of the top 10, what do you think is going to happen? Oh my gosh, XRP, it's crumbling and falling apart. But there's two slots. Like, XRP should be #6 right now. And to me, that's incredibly impressive because if its real spot is #6, and that's with the SEC coming after XRP and Ripple. They're attacking both, frankly. They're not suing XRP, obviously, but still, it's an attack on XRP holders and Ripple. That is true, even though they're only technically suing Ripple and Brad and Chris. But that's effectively what's happening. And so even if XRP fell out of the top 10, what the hell does it matter? If it goes down 11, 12, is it just going to stay there forever? And also, what do you think is going to happen if we get legal clarity, especially in the short term? Because I'll tell you what, I do believe the price of XRP is artificially suppressed, but if we get legal clarity sooner than later, I think that damn thing's going to just rocket. That would be my guess. That's not financial advice. I don't know that for sure, but I think it's a reasonable guess. It's going to go way, way, way higher, and then it'll be back in the ballpark of where it deserves to be, jockeying for that #2 spot. It should be probably #3 at least right now, but it's not. So, like, once it's back up there, this idea of it, falling out of the top 10, because I do think things will go well for XRP in 2022. This arcane research prediction is going to age like a fine milk. That would be my prediction. Unless we don't get clarity soon enough, in which case I would see the point that it's possible, but this isn't the end of the world. I'm just talking honestly here. If you have a number of altcoins, like say we have this euphoric blow-off top and XRP's already artificially suppressed and we don't have sufficient clarity at that point. Yeah, if you have enough go up and you got 2 slots taken up by stablecoins, yeah, it could happen. But the picture that's being painted, I don't think it's representative of the whole story, and that's why I wanted to kind of break down all of these specifics that I'm not sure everybody's actually thought through. Anyway, there's a couple more parts of this article I wanted to share with you. They also wrote, at the end of 2020, XRP was the 3rd largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. But the lawsuit brought by the SEC against Ripple has seen the cryptocurrency slid down the ranks in the market. XRP currently ranks at 8th position in the crypto market. And then they write at the end of the article, in the case of Ripple, many analysts and market observers expect that when the case with the SEC comes to an end, XRP will see an explosive surge that will send it back to the top ranks of the crypto market. The closure to the case in Ripple's favor is also highly anticipated as the legal proceedings have been going their way. Yeah, so that's certainly true. So to be fair, I am glad that the crypto media article cited that, but arcane research, my gosh, I don't think that's going to age well. I don't know about Cardano. I hold Cardano, but I don't know specific. I can't really speak to that. That's not the purpose of this video. But XRP, to me, it just seems like you're trying to scare a bunch of people for some reason. Even if that's not your intent, you might want to add some additional thoughts to your analysis. Let's just say that. Now take a look at this from the Daily Hodl. Will XRP's primary competitor outperform crypto markets in 2022? Coin Bureau updates outlook on stellar lumens. Now, I actually did some back-of-the-napkin type of calculations before recording this video. I'm going to share them with you to illustrate just how wrong Guy, who runs the YouTube channel Coin Bureau, is. And again, this is not an attack on him, but you know, I want to see, he said his piece on it. I think he's wrong. I think that he just felt something and he didn't research it to back up his position. And I'm going to articulate my position. And admittedly, fine, I did some, like I said, back of the napkin type of math. But the neat thing is, even if my math is like way off to the negative, his point's still bad. Like, you'll see how off he is. You'll get what I'm saying by the time we get to the end of this video. But check this out. The host of crypto channel Coin Bureau is unveiling his outlook for XLM next year. That's Stellar of Lumens, of course. After the XRP competitor's lackluster performance in 2021. By the way, I kind of have a problem with that characterization of them being competitors. They're two cryptocurrencies, decentralized, and they're being positioned for different use cases with minimal to no overlap. So, it's like Jed McCaleb running this. He's like something vaguely to do with banks, and XRP sort of is in the way that Ripple's positioned it. Therefore, competitors. It's like I guess that's the thought behind it, but that's not very deep thinking, to be honest. It's like Deep Thoughts by Jack Hendy. Anyway, in a new video, pseudonymous analyst Guy tells his 1.78 million, it's now over 1.8 million, YouTube subscribers that while Stellar XLM doubled in price this year, the altcoin's gains are peanuts compared to the performance of other crypto assets. And by the way, I also would mention this as we go through this. The claim he's making about XLM, people have made endlessly about XRP, and I've torn it down there too, but I'm going to share with you some simple math. According to Guy, Stellar's poor price performance can be traced to one key reason: sell pressure, specifically from the Stellar Development Foundation, or SDF for short, a non-profit organization dedicated to the development and growth of the Stellar network. This is where I got to tell you, folks, this is not true. This is a bad take, and I will share with you why. But here's a quote from Guy first. The foundation only received $3 million at its inception. To my knowledge, it hasn't received any additional funding since then. This means that the foundation has been relying on its sales of XLM to pay its expenses and fund the expansion of Stellar's ecosystem, and this isn't speculation either. The foundation's XLM spending is clearly detailed on its mandate page, and I applaud it for its transparency. The latest figures suggest that the foundation has spent over $5 billion of its $30 billion XLM so far, and the Wayback Machine reveals that about $3 billion of this XLM were spent over the last year. That's a key number right there, and I'm going to come back to it. $3 billion XLM were spent over the last year. What's more is that a paragraph at the end of the mandate notes, as we said when we first announced this framework in November 2019, we intend to use or disperse most of these lumens within 10 years, ideally sooner. In other words, the sell pressure isn't going to stop anytime soon. Yikes. Bad take. So, to my notes now, where I did a little bit of simple math. And again, back of the napkin type of stuff, but for the purposes of this video and getting the idea across so you can see just how wrong he is about this concept, what I've done here will be sufficient. I can assure you of that. And so, let's go to the price of XLM. This is a one-year chart. XLM here, you can see it's currently 26 cents as I record this video. It's volatile because it's crypto, but if you just look at about this level, this is about what it averaged. Let's just call it 40 cents. So there are times where it was lower, like how low to get this year? Like, I guess it was lowest at the very beginning of the year, but look, in July, it got down to 21 cents, and it bounced around. It was also as high as, 77 cents back in March, or not March, I'm sorry, May. But, you know, you could just if you draw a line through it, you could be like, okay, right in the middle there, it probably averaged about 40 cents. For the sake of getting this idea across, it's going to be sufficient. Let's just say it averaged 40 cents. Okay. So again, 3 billion XLM were sold by Stellar Development Foundation in 2021. 3 billion. So if SDF, if their average sale price was 40 cents, that means they made about $1.2 billion in sales. Okay. Now, $1.2 billion divided by 365 days in the year equals $3.2 million in average daily volume. That's a key number. $3.2 million in average daily volume. Now, when I checked earlier, and it's different at the time of recording this, but this is where I did the math, and it's volatile. I acknowledge that, but check this out. The average XLM 24-hour volume when I was doing these calculations was $353 million. So their sales averaged, we're just ballparking it, but it's for the purpose of this conversation to get this concept across just how far off he is in his belief. This works. 3.2 million in sales per day from Stellar Development Foundation out of 353 million. Now, of course, at times where there's more excitement, there would have been much higher sales. Like, I don't know. I mean, if you had double or triple the volume, I mean, look here. You can see the volume on this chart here, actually. Here, what was this? Yeah, there you go. Look at this. Here's the volume on May 16th when it hit 77 cents. 24-hour volume, 3.2 billion. Okay, think about this, folks. 3.2 million is what they sold. Volume was 3.2 billion with a B. And you can see what the volume is. That's what the shaded part is right here on your screen. Look at how it was spiking up here. It's like even on days where it's lower, like look at some of this. You can see these numbers here. It's like, honestly, the calculations that I did, I'm being generous, I think. I really think I'm being like more generous than I need to be. But that's by design, just to show you how bad of an idea this is. Right? And so where was I here? Yeah, so here you go. So then if you divide 3.2 million, that's the average daily sales. If you divide that by the average daily volume of 353 million, and again, many days, most days, it's actually a lot higher than that, but let's just use the low number so you can get an idea of how ridiculous this is. 3.2 million divided by 353 million, which you find is that Stellar Development Foundation's sales of XLM equate to roughly 0.9% of global volume, which is not enough to move the global price of XLM. And this is me being generous. Most days, the volume is higher, which means that their transactions were a much smaller percentage. I said 0.9. 0.9. Think about that. So how the hell did XLM jump all the way up to 71 cents earlier this year if Stellar Development Foundation sell pressure is so severe? How did it jump to 91 cents last market cycle at its peak? And how about this? Even if my calculations are off by 100%, then Stellar Development Foundation is still only making up 1.8% of daily global XLM volume. And again, I'm being generous here. The reality is the volume was much higher than this, right? This doesn't make any damn sense. This is a bad take, and I hear this from people. They've made that argument about XRP. It's the same damn thing. And so then they're looking at stuff like this, and will XLM do better than XRP in 2022? It's just a bunch of nonsense. And in fact, take a look at this to bring the point home about how like irrational and like how off this guy's understanding is of how crypto prices move in this space. Take a look at this final quote. This is from Guy with Coin Bureau. The only demand for XLM is coming from the institutions the Stellar Development Foundation is partnered with, and these partnerships are only starting to reach their final form. Let's pause right there. That's definitely not the case. If you look at the volume here, like I'm telling you guys, this is mostly retail, and XLM was moving with the market. Okay. Anyway, he continues though. On the bright side, this paints a pretty bullish picture for XLM in 2022, and I could see XLM retesting its early 2018 highs if its MoneyGram partnership delivers on its promises. Stellar also has no shortage of upcoming milestones, which could attract both retail and institutional interest. What? Folks, it's nowhere near as complex as he's making it out to be. If he really believes this, that's astonishing to me. He's looking at individual ecosystems and what's happening with them, and then telling you listening to this that these are the things that will move the price, when we know for sure, and it can be proven, the market moves in tandem. All of these things that, yes, we think they should matter, they don't, because the asset class is in its nascency. And here he is spouting off to people that it actually does matter, and that's what's going to control price. It's just not true. Anytime something good has happened with Stellar, it hasn't impacted the price. When the XLM ledger just completely halted. I can't remember, that was a couple years or so ago, but at least once it happened. The price didn't crash. Like things that happen within the ecosystem, people just don't give a damn. Like, that's the truth. And so I don't know if he really believes the stuff that he's saying here, but I gotta tell you, it's just surprising to see this from the largest crypto YouTube channel on the entire planet, because it's factually incorrect and provably so. Which is why, if you think about Ripple, like, they're going to argue in court, and they're right. They're going to prove with math that XRP, what moves its price, because this matters from a legal perspective, what moves its price is not what Ripple does, but what happens with Bitcoin. Same with XLM. And so he pretends here like all these individual occurrences within each individual ecosystem matter, but they don't, because the market's immature. One day that'll matter, sure, but not today and not anytime soon. So I'm just surprised to see it. Again, nothing against him. I just think that the idea is bad. This is not a critique of him. I'm critiquing his ideas because I don't think they're good ideas, but it's not about him. Like, I see this stuff from all sorts of people. I'm going to tear the idea down, not the person. The idea is bad. That's it. So is what it is. I'll wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.